The free community event is called Fall Free For All, and what it is a free day of performances here in all of Cal Performance's venues, which is 5 indoor venues and various points outdoors around them. And the idea here was to really show the public in the Bay Area that we were an open, accessible, easy to reach organization that can be really fun to engage with, and to show the public how easy it is to engage with the live performing arts at the quality at which we present them. And we strive for the highest levels of artistic quality. But this project was about access and advocacy. When I arrived, it was on the back of pretty severe cuts and layoffs within the organization, and a very demoralized staff that had just not only been through layoffs but furloughs, which were effectively salary cuts. And so this had all been happening in the months prior to my arrival. So I found a very capable and engaged staff, but at the same time demoralized and fragmented. And I thought, we need something to get behind and all do together. And this mammoth project, the Fall Free For All, felt like the ideal vehicle. I'd been talking from the moment I arrived about the 3 A's: artistic excellence, advocacy, and accessibility. And those are the 3 values that we hold every decision we make in the organization to. And so when you look at something like the Fall Free For All, and it ties all 3 together perfectly, it's all about artistic excellence, it's all about advocacy for live performing arts, and it's all about accessibility, as wide and it's about audience building. The key decision was to actually give it to a member of the not a member of the senior staff to manage. It wasn't going to be my project or any of the other programmers' project, but we really thought this has got to come from within. And so we put Laura Abrams, who's the Director of Education, in charge of managing Fall Free For All. And she was responsible for really bringing the organization together, getting all the ideas. And we all got involved. I and my senior management team did take a backseat role. It was run from within, and we were part of the team. We took ownership, we took responsibility, we made sure that what resources were available, and we were part of the discussions, absolutely. But we were in the trenches with everybody, and so what Laura very quickly had to do was build a team around her. And so suddenly you had colleagues from public relations or development or production, education, programming, all working together, showing great creativity and frankly innovation to make something completely new happen. You already have a rather demoralized group of colleagues, and they're already feeling under-resourced, and you're adding a momentous amount of work. I mean, there was a lot of, how are we going to do this? That was the main con. And how are we going to do this, with limited resources, without a significant budget? And so, I didn't know whether we could do it or not. I just felt like we should. And I had absolute confidence that we could. So my posture was, guys, it'll be fine, and it's going to be amazing. You're already doing a great job, so let's not be disheartened. But yeah, we've all got to shoulder more responsibility. We've all got to do more, and we've got to be super creative about how we do it. I mean, I really appealed to the creativity. We'd planned it very, very carefully. I mean, the fact that more people came meant that we had to deal with some customer service issues around people being disappointed that they couldn't get into venues. And, some of our staff actually went, I think, to Costco and bought huge boxes of cookies and started handing them out. a lot to the lines. We had to improvise a system for letting people in and out of events. There weren't serious issues. I mean, financially it was a challenge because there's no revenue attached to this, direct revenue. I mean, we sold tickets to other events on our series, but you know, financially it's something that you need to say, well, this is part of our DNA now, this is what we do, so we need to keep this $100,000 investment in our budgets. That's challenging, especially you know, budgets have got even tighter since I arrived, and so that's, I mean, the fact that we've had 2 great years of success helps, but the learning was all positive. There were huge challenges, and there were huge challenges before, but to come out of those, it has been very positive. Getting behind a project like this that brings performers from not only around the country but also from nearby, from within our community, be they student ensembles from UC Berkeley or some of the really wonderful local ensembles that perform at the international level, like Kitka, for example. So that, or the Philharmonia Baroque Orchestra, you know, who also had a chamber ensemble here. You know, it was Adler Fellows from the San Francisco Opera. So I mean, when you bring all those really inspiring elements together, it had a transformative effect. And then, of course, the success of it. I mean, not only was it planned beautifully, but also wonderfully executed. And, you know, we'd planned for 6,000 people, we had 13,000, and we had to just deal with that. And we did, and it was a great success. So the pros overwhelmingly outdid the cons, and the pros were more visible in retrospect in terms of the success of it. I mean, you need the success of the thing to really stimulate you, but also people very quickly began working together in ways that I hadn't seen, even in my short time in the organization. We established a model for doing really difficult things. And so now, when it comes to doing cross-departmental things, which is ultimately the way that you should be working all the time, it's a natural. It's a natural thing. It's not an unnatural thing. So people were it transformed that very quickly. And those effects are still lingering to this day. So when we talk about full free-for-all now, so yeah, of course, yeah, we're going to do this, and we'll get the teams together, and why don't we get so-and-so involved in addition to that? And it becomes a vehicle for ideas as well. Why don't we try this on full free-for-all? Because it's a bit high risk to try it at other moments. So, I mean, there are honestly hundreds of effects. I mean, the way it galvanized the board also, because we had board members volunteering, the way it really shone a light on Cal performances for the university community. You know, when they saw all these thousands of families coming here on a single day, it was great business for all the local merchants. It was fantastic. The San Francisco Chronicle ran free adverts for us. The radio did the same, so we had really good media sponsors. BART had, you know, full free-for-all on all the digital signs. It was incredible. It was incredible, the effect. When I finally decided, you know, you can't sort of wave a magic wand and change the morale. It's got to be a process, and probably a difficult process. When I decided, and that I was part of the solution, let's say, when I said I was part of it rather than just feeling like I have to fix this, how am I going to do that? That was helpful to think that. And then when I really pushed that responsibility to others to say, you know, you own this. Everybody owned this. It doesn't matter who you are. That was a very powerful message as well to give. So, and when everybody owned both the project, the full free-for-all project, which had to be externally facing, but also owned the fact that the only way you're going to make this a success, you are going to make this a success, is by working when that realization happened, and I had to say it a lot, then I think everybody realized it's going to be great. Because others pick that up, you know, your advertisers pick it up, your public picks it up. It comes out in the tenor of the conversations that your box office staff have with people buying tickets. It comes out in the tenor of conversations you have with board members and other members of the community, with the artists you're booking, because then they'll tell their people. So if everybody is enthusiastic and engaged, then it permeates everything.